here I am thinking she done did something simple, and long and behold, oh no. What's her name from Florida? Get her case. What in the Casey Anthony is going on here? What up, YouTube? It's your girl, TT Shanell. You clicked the title, you read the page. That means it is reaction video time. Y'all, I've been looking mad light-skinned lately. Like, I don't know what's been going on. It's like, turn me down a little bit. Anyway, hope you feeling good. I hope you feeling great. You're not feeling good. You're not feeling great. This video gonna put you in a better mood. I bet you. Because the title says, when a Karen goes to prison. And now, as much as we don't like Karens, we would love to see a Karen go to prison because they be the ones trying to put other people in prison. I'm about to say trying to pay. I meant take. It just, you know what? I don't even know. And I'm not going to start the video over because we do not practice perfection over here. No.
I'll ask my lawyer right now. Are you speaking to me?
Take a seat at the Douglas County Superior Court, where a judge presides over the chilling case of Sahara Tabriz Fakir, charged with armed...
She did it. TT, stop judging these people based on their mugshots. Why? Please. I judge books by their covers. Okay? All right? That's why, you know what? That's why we got starter packs. You know what that is? A starter pack is like, let's say you see a dude that's buying a dad hat, some black shoes, some hoodies. He's a stalker. He's buying a stalker kit. It's like starter packs. It's like come on now, look at this.
Robbery, burglary, and murder, Fakir's case captivated the nation as she made outrageous claims and invoked divine intervention in the courtroom. As the hearing begins in Douglas County, Georgia, all eyes are on the defendant, Sahara Tabriz Fakir. At 32 years old, Fakir stands accused of committing a series of heinous crimes, including armed robbery, burglary, and murder. The victim, Jerry Wheeler, a respected local businessman, was brutally stabbed in his own home while innocently preparing dinner. To make matters even more tragic, Wheeler was the father of a dedicated deputy from the Douglas County Sheriff's Office who discussed...
Ooh, Shahira, you done around and the wrong person. That's the police. Now, you know you don't be going around messing with no police.
Covered his lifeless body. As Fakir enters the courtroom, it becomes evident that she fails to grasp the gravity of the charges against her. With an air of nonchalance, she appears seemingly unaffected by the weight of the situation. The judge presiding over the case, known for his composed demeanor, takes Fakir's claim in stride and proceeds with the proceedings.
He's charged with the murder of Jerry Franklin Wheeler. You understand that?
In the Masonic courthouse, I understand that. I understand that this courthouse is a cursed courthouse. Yes, I understand.
Okay.
And if you are judging me, you're not God-fearing, Allah will have vengeance on you, and everyone else in here is not God-fearing. I understand that.
However, as the topic shifts to legal representation, Fakir's behavior takes a bizarre turn. The judge, seeking to ensure that Fakir has proper legal counsel, asks her if she has a lawyer, and she gives a shocking response.
Do you have a lawyer?
I'll ask my lawyer right now.
Are you
speaking?
Not Allah.
Are you going to get a lawyer?
Allah is my lawyer right now. And if you do not...
Girl, you was going to jail talking about Allah gonna get you a... What are you talking about? You was going to jail.
Release me, Allah will have his vengeance on you. Like he did in 2009 when he sent that flood. It's only going to get worse.
Her claim leaves the courtroom in stunned silence. Recognizing that Fakir may not have the means to employ a lawyer, the judge informs her of her right to apply for a public defender at no cost. However, Fakir remains steadfast in her conviction that Allah is her ultimate advocate. She demands to be released from the Masonic courthouse, further showcasing her unconventional beliefs and refusal to conform to the legal process.
If you cannot employ a lawyer, then you can apply to the public defender's office for an appointment of one at no cost to you.
What I said.
I'm just trying to inform you of your rights.
No, I better be released from that Masonic courthouse.
As the hearing nears its end, Fakir's hopes of being granted bond are dashed. The judge firmly states that bond will not be granted that day, prompting Fakir to question the decision.
Bond will not be granted today. If you want such a bond, you can make application and have a hearing as to that matter. Do you understand?
When can I get a bond today?
I'm not going to grant a bond today. This is just an
Why?
initial appearance.
Why?
Because it's going to have a hearing to have the bond.
She then goes ahead to take a dig at the news.
Why would we give you a bond? Look at you. You look crazy. You moving crazy. Why would we give you a bond? W for the judge.
Channel covering the hearing Fakir's case eventually went to trial, and she was sentenced to life in prison without parole for the murder of Jerry Wheeler. Let's head to the Superior Court in Vista, where the trial of Diana Lovejoy, a woman accused of attempting to murder her ex-husband, Greg Mulvihill, unfolds. Get ready as we uncover the alleged involvement of a former Marine sniper, Weldon McDavid, and the shocking lengths Diana went to gain custody of her son. It all began with a love that turned sour, a marriage that crumbled under the weight of resentment and bitterness. Diana Lovejoy and Greg Mulvihill were once a picture-perfect
Now, how your name Lovejoy and you catching bodies?
couple, deeply in love and seemingly destined for a lifetime of happiness. But as time went on, their relationship took a dark turn. They had a beautiful son together, a child who became the center of their world. But behind closed doors, their marriage was falling apart. The couple's differences became irreconcilable, leading them down the path of divorce. Diana and Greg fought tooth and nail for custody of their son, each accusing the other of being an unfit parent. The tension between them reached its peak, and it seemed that there was no end in sight. Desperate and determined to gain full custody of her son, Diana Lovejoy turned to an unlikely ally, Weldon McDavid. Weldon, a former Marine sniper. Together, Diana and Weldon devised a plan to eliminate the obstacles standing in
Oh, you think she was boning him? What y'all think?
Diana's way. Her ex-husband, Greg Mulvihill. The plan was simple yet chillingly effective. Diana would lure Greg to a secluded location where Weldon would lie in wait, ready to carry out the unthinkable. On that fateful night in September, Greg received a call from Diana asking him to meet her near the Bataquitos Lagoon. Oblivious to the danger that awaited him, Greg arrived at the meeting spot, unaware that his life was about to change forever. As Greg stepped out of his car, he was suddenly ambushed by a masked gunman and was struck by a bullet but managed to escape, desperately seeking help. Miraculously, Greg survived the
Yo, these clips is funny. Like, was he really running like that?
attack, but the identity of the assailants remained a mystery. It wasn't until later that he would reveal the shocking truth. His ex-wife, Diana Lovejoy, was one of the perpetrators. Both Lovejoy and McDavid were arrested, and their trial was one of the most anticipated. Despite the damning evidence against them, Lovejoy maintained her innocence, but this wasn't enough to sway the jury's verdict.
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of an attempted murder of
Oh, this the shorty that faint. This gonna be funny.
Greg Mulvihill.
However, things would take a rather dramatic turn in the courtroom when Lovejoy, her face filled with disbelief and shock, suddenly fainted. Lovejoy had to be taken out of the courtroom in an ambulance.
She think about all that jail time. She can think about all that black. She can't get no more. She like, dang, I'm gonna miss the black. That's what she. I'm telling you, that's what she thinking.
As for Weldon McDavid, the jury found him guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. His involvement in the sinister plan had been exposed, and he too would face the full weight of the law.
She probably snitched on him too.
After careful consideration, the judge handed down the sentence. Diana Lovejoy was to spend 25 years to life in prison, with no possibility of parole. As she heard the verdict, Lovejoy immediately burst into tears. McDavid, on the other hand, was sentenced to 50 years to life in prison for his role in
Oh, that's kind of why he got more time than she did when she the one. That's kind of messed up. I mean, what y'all think? Am I just saying that because he black?
the crime.
Scholar, you have a right to speak this morning if you'd like. You don't have any obligation to speak, but if you'd like to choose to speak, now is the time to do it.
Yes, I would like to say something.
Go ahead.
I'm innocent. You all, you're garbage.
Next, we take
Nah, she said I'm innocent. You all, you're garbage. What? You done pissed off the judge now.
a seat at a Minnesota courtroom where sentencing for Jalissa Thaler is underway. Thaler was found guilty of brutally murdering her own 6-year-old son and then driving around town with his lifeless body.
Oh no. Oh no. Throw away the key. Put her key. You ever seen Shrek? Yeah, we seen Shrek. TT, what kind of question is that? You right. Put her key far, 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 far away. Like, what? What? Here I am thinking she done did something simple, and long and behold. Oh no. What's her name from Florida? Get her case. What in the Casey Anthony is going on here?
body. In a small Minnesota community, a horrifying crime unfolded, leaving a young life tragically cut short. Jalissa Thaler, a mother who was supposed to protect and nurture her child, instead committed an unspeakable act of violence. The victim of this heinous crime was her own 6-year-old son, Eli Hart. The events leading up to this shocking incident began with a contentious custody battle between Thaler and Eli's father, Torrey Hart. The custody dispute had reached a boiling point, with tensions escalating between the parents. Little did anyone know that this bitter dispute would end in such a heart-wrenching tragedy. The discovery of Eli's body came after police stopped Thaler in a heavily damaged vehicle with a blown-out back windshield. As they investigated further, they made the horrifying realization that Eli's lifeless body was in the trunk, alongside the murder weapon. It was a scene that would forever haunt those who witnessed it. The case against
That is nah. And she had the nerve to say she was innocent. And for a second, I almost believed her. For a second, I'm like, you gotta be pissed off.
Thaler was built upon a meticulous gathering of evidence across multiple crime scenes. Surveillance photos captured Thaler and Eli leaving her apartment building together for the final time, providing a glimpse into their last moments together. Body camera images from the traffic stop further solidified the connection between Thaler and the crime, but it didn't stop there. Investigators delved into Thaler's web searches, uncovering a chilling premeditation. She had reportedly gone into a guns ammunition store asking staff for ammunition that could have blown the biggest hole. Just 10 days before the death of Eli, social workers had granted Thaler full custody of the 6-year-old boy, despite his father.
Oh, come on. Come on. This could have been avoided if y'all ain't give that girl full custody. Oh, man.
Father making several complaints about Thaler, who had a long history of drug abuse, paranoia, and other mental health issues. These searches painted a disturbing picture of a mother who had planned the unthinkable. The evidence presented during the trial left no room for doubt about Thaler's guilt. The jury, after carefully considering the overwhelming evidence, delivered a verdict of guilty on both first and second-degree murder charges. The courtroom was filled with tension and raw emotions as the judge prepared to deliver the sentence for Jalissa Thaler's heinous crime. But before the final verdict could be announced, Thaler unleashed a shocking and disrespectful outburst that left everyone in the courtroom stunned. Proclaiming her innocence with fervor, Thaler directed profanity toward those present, displaying a complete disregard for the gravity of her actions.
Ms. Thaler, you have a right to speak this morning if you'd like. You don't have any obligation to speak.
And the only reason why the judge be saying that is because, listen, once you get to that point and they're about to hand you your sentence, it does not matter what you say. They already... the sentence is there. It's on paper. At that point, it's between you and whoever you believe in at that point. Because, come on now.
But if you'd like to choose to speak, now is the time to do it.
Yes, I would like to say something.
Go ahead.
I'm innocent. You all. You're garbage.
Despite Thaler's disrespectful
This is a clear case of mental illness, and they granted full custody to her. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
actions, the judge maintained composure and proceeded to hand down the harshest possible sentence, life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Nothing I do would bring justice to this situation. Nothing I do would relieve any of the pain that you caused by doing that. But what is, according to law, the just and fair sentence for what you did is what Mr. Allard said, and that is life in prison without the possibility of parole.
It was a moment of justice, ensuring that Thaler would never have the opportunity to harm another innocent life again. As the court proceedings ended and everyone filed out of the court, Thaler was seen subtly showing a middle finger to the camera. Let's head to a Memphis court where a dramatic court session is underway for 20-year-old Shelby Isaac, who is currently uncontrollable after she learned her fate. The young woman was in court after she murdered a man.
Damn, that's crazy. She looks normal here. So usually I'd be like, she did it. In this case, I wouldn't have said that. You know what? Y'all right. I should stop judging by its cover. Because this is the type of show y'all would have been like, yeah, come back to the crib. Whole time I would have died. That's crazy. I got bad judgment skills.
his pregnant girlfriend, and their unborn baby. The cause of away for 20-year-old Shelby Isaac was currently uncontrollable after she learned her fate. The young woman was in court after she murdered a man, his pregnant girlfriend, and their unborn baby. The cause of such senseless murder? A dispute over hair extensions. Known for her demanding and entitled behavior, 20-year-old Shelby Isaac was no stranger to causing a scene over the smallest inconveniences, but no one could have predicted the extent to which her behavior would escalate. It all started when Shelby purchased hair extensions from a local stylist named Eddie E.J.'s Tate. After some time, Shelby, dissatisfied with her purchase, decided to meet up with Tate for perhaps a refund on January 22, 2016. However, in a fit of rage, Karen allegedly pulled out a weapon and shot Eddie and his girlfriend, Edwina Thomas, who was 8 weeks pregnant at the time.
All of that over some weave? Come on, my black women. We gotta do better. Come on now. You killed...
After the shooting, witnesses say Isaac went through Tate's pockets. At the time of the murder, Shelby was just 18 years old. As expected, her actions had consequences, and she was swiftly apprehended by law enforcement. The wheels of justice were set in motion, leading to a trial.
Damn, 18? 18? What's on your mental at 18 that got you bugging out like that?
That would captivate the nation. As the trial progressed, the courtroom was filled with tension. The jury carefully considered the evidence presented, weighing the testimonies and the arguments put forth by both the prosecution and the defense. Finally, after days of
her hair don't even look that bad. Like, she don't even need the weave, honestly. Like, her hair look better than mine.
deliberation, the jury reached a verdict. Shelby was found guilty of the charges against her.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder as included in count 1. Signed by...
She is a baby. She is a... They said at the time of the murder, so let's just say they took a year. She probably 21. Like, what? You snapped like that over some hair? And girls be calling me crazy. They have no idea. Okay?
The words echoed through the courtroom, and Karen's world came crashing down. Overwhelmed by the weight of the verdict, she collapsed to the floor helplessly. Despite the dramatic reaction, the judge continued with the business at hand.
As to count 2 of the indictment.
I'm screaming. He like, oh, she fainted? But we still gonna continue reading out this long sentence. You're never getting out of jail. Oh, she's still fainting? You're still never getting out of jail.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder. Sir, is that your verdict? Your verdict, ma'am?
Yes.
Your verdict, ma'am?
Yes.
Shelby was convicted of 2 counts of second-degree murder, as well as reckless homicide and criminally negligent homicide of the unborn baby. Despite her screaming and crying for her mother, Shelby, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
30 years? No, I don't know. I don't feel like she should get out. I ain't gonna lie, like at that. For you to have that mentality over some weave, I can only imagine. I mean, within 30 years, she might figure out her lesson. I mean, what y'all think? Drop a comment.
Those men were shot, just shot in self-defense. Boom, boom, boom. You know, they weren't cut up, they weren't sliced up. No OJ jazz, you know. And he said,
I'm screaming, no OJ jazz. What?
Did the most horrendous crime in the whole wide world.
Not true?
I guess not.
Next, we delve into the astonishing tale of Aileen Wuornos, an American serial killer whose crimes in the late 1980s and early 1990s.
Oh, drop a comment if y'all want me to do like a documentary on her. I never heard of her, a female serial killer. I mean, I've heard of female serial killers, but not this. Hold on, I'm gonna shut up and we're gonna let this rock. Hold on, Shelby. We sick of you. And kill that newborn baby. I mean, that unborn baby. Y'all ready?
Just shot in self-defense. Boom, boom, boom. You know, they weren't cut up, they weren't sliced up. No OJ jazz, you know. And he said, I did the most horrendous crime in the whole wide world.
Not true?
I guess not.
Next, we delve into the astonishing tale of Aileen Wuornos, an American serial killer whose crimes in the late 1980s and early 1990s sent shockwaves through the nation. Take your seat at the Florida Supreme Court as we unravel Wuornos' trouble.
Hold on, let me light the dope. Hold on, y'all about to get good. Subscribe for the vibe. Like, what? A female serial killer? I never heard of this. Yo, we weird, right? Like why we like stuff like this? Like, we don't like the killing, of course not, but it's like, it makes you wonder, like, a human can do that? Like, what is wrong with some humans? Like, I was telling my shorty the other day, quick story, I promise you, it won't be long. I was like, what if we're all controlled? Like, what if we're all robots? And some of us just malfunction.
Upbringing in Rochester, Michigan, to her harrowing experiences as a sex worker, her murderous rampage, and the shocking aftermath that awaited her in prison. To understand the shocking journey of Aileen Wuornos, we must first delve into her troubled upbringing and early life. Born on February 29, 1956 in Rochester, Michigan.
Yeah, she crazy. Because isn't that like a leap year day? Because February we get 28, 29, but sometimes if it's like a leap, her birthday could skip. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, uh-huh.
Aileen Wuornos' life took a dark turn from the very beginning. Wuornos' mother was only 14 years old when she married her father, who was just 18 at the time. Unfortunately, their young love was short-lived, and Wuornos never had the chance to meet her father. Instead, she was raised by her maternal grandparents, who legally adopted her and her brother. Growing up in a modest house in a quiet suburban neighborhood, Wuornos' childhood seemed ordinary at first glance. However, behind closed doors, she experienced unimaginable pain and trauma that would shape her future in unimaginable ways. Wuornos' early years were marred by sexual abuse and trauma. These experiences left deep scars on her psyche, leading to a lifetime of mental health struggles. At the age of 15, she was thrown out of the house after a dispute with her grandfather, and that was when everything totally went downhill. When she was 22, she embarked on a murderous rampage, killing several men. Wuornos claimed that each of her victims—
Oh, that's like the female Ted Bundy. Yo, this the female Ted Bundy. Yo, I'm going to do a documentary. Subscribe. I'm going to do a documentary. I'm going to call it the female Ted Bundy. This is the female Ted Bundy. That is wow. And be careful for those men who be like disliking women because one hurt them, because then they try to take it out on all women. And my men, be careful for women like this who men hurt and they just take it out on all men.
Victims had either raped or attempted to rape her, fueling her belief that she was acting in self-defense.
There's no sense in having me tormented for the rest of my life when I don't deserve to be tormented. I did what anybody else would do.
But as the body count rose, law enforcement agencies across the country began to piece together the horrifying truth. The first victim, Richard Mallory, was found dead in 1989. His murder set off a chain of events that would send shockwaves through the nation. Wuornos continued her killing spree, targeting men she encountered while working as a sex worker. David Spears, Charles Carskadden, Peter Seams, Troy Burress, Charles Humphreys,
Oh, she was catching bodies.
and Walter Antonio were all brutally murdered by Wuornos. Each victim met a tragic end, their lives cut short by a woman consumed by anger and a thirst for revenge. As the body count continued to rise, law enforcement agencies launched a massive manhunt to capture Wuornos. Finally, in 1991, she was apprehended in Florida, bringing an end to her deadly reign of terror. Wuornos' arrest marked a turning point in the investigation. Her trial captivated the nation as the shocking details of her crimes were laid bare for all to see. The prosecution painted a picture of a cold-blooded killer, while the defense argued that Wuornos had acted in self-defense. Throughout the trial, Wuornos exhibited signs of mental instability, often breaking down in tears or lashing out at those around her. Her turbulent emotions only added to the drama and intensity of the courtroom proceedings. After much deliberation, the jury reached a verdict. Aileen Wuornos was found guilty of 6 of the murders and sentenced to death. As the years went by, Wuornos' case continued to captivate the public's attention. She granted interviews to various media outlets, sharing her side of the story while claiming her death sentence was an unjust verdict.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I lost my
Oh, she looked crazy right there. Oh. Yo, she scared me for a second. Like, yo, this the female Ted Bundy. Look, take a look. Like, this is wild. Like, wow.
life because of it. Couldn't even get a fair trial. Couldn't even get a fair investigation or nothing. Couldn't even have my appeals right. You sabotaged my ass, society, and the cops, and the system.
Yo, she looked like she stinks. She looked like she smelled like mad butt and old cheese.
This woman got executed.
On October 9, 2002, she was put to death by lethal injection. It was the final chapter in a story that shocked and fascinated the world.
Yo, y'all gotta subscribe for the vibe. This is just part 1. We're gonna get to part 2. Subscribe for the vibe.